Okay, well, then I call this meeting of the Historic Preservation Commission to order on Monday, April 1st at 5:35 PM. Are there any public comments? Okay. Next is the approval of the previous minutes from the regular meeting of March 4th. I assume everybody's had a chance to read them. Do I hear a motion for approval?
So moved.
And a second?
Second,
Anita. All right. Jason Wells,
Yes.
Nathan Turner,
Yes.
Anita Charlatan,
yes.
and Valerie Duncan.
Yes.
All right, approved.
Okay, well then, our next item of business is the HPC application number 24-004. Discussion and potential action on a request for a certificate of compliance for a Novel Idea Bookshop window signage.
Thanks, Madam Chair. As is indicated, this is for the Enelva Book Idea window signage. It's going to be in the one window that you see in the picture. They also are going to have the logo on their door, but it's well within the guidelines, so staff didn't have any issue with the proposed signage, so I'll give it back to commission if you have any questions.
Is there any discussion? Well then, do I hear a motion?
I move that we approve.
I'll second.
Jason Wells,
Yes.
Nathan Turner,
Yes.
Anita Charlatan,
Yes.
and Valerie Duncan.
Yes.
All right, 4-0.
Item number 5, HPC application number 24-005. Discussion and potential action on a request for a certificate of compliance for Century 21 window, facade, and projecting signage.
All right, this one's got a little bit more to it. The handout I had under the application is the most recent request for this particular item. I was gonna go over a couple aspects. There's an existing projecting sign on that business, and then the recent request had one on the very south part of that building. The guidelines only allow one, but also on the second one, we already approved a projecting sign for Fry Design Code. That's the business upstairs, so there's basically no room for it there anyway. But I don't think the applicant's gonna have any issue with having the one projecting sign. If they want to take the circular one and replace it over there, that's not a problem. It's just, again, with the guidelines, we can only have one. They also included a sign that would be on the alley portion on the very south part of the building, which I don't see any issue with because it's a smaller sign in that, and we've allowed signage on the back part of the alley. And then the primary one you'll see is the window signage, and then the Century 21 spelled out. It appears that it's probably close to a third. The only thing I would want to make sure is that each letter, those are technically separate windows. They've been boarded in, but they shouldn't be more than 1/3 of the window in terms of size. So it's hard to tell on there. They look close, but I think we can make sure with the applicant that they don't exceed the size. Otherwise, staff doesn't have any major concerns with that either. So give it back to the commission if you have any questions.
Any discussion or questions? Okay.
Well, wait, I do have one. So they're changing, they're gonna leave, what's there now? Is this Century 21 there now, or is it the plain gold?
Right now, there's nothing on the windows. I believe I can't remember if he even has window signage. He has the projecting sign. Here, the applicant, yeah, up there, yeah. Because I think there's like one
On
window
right
sign.
now, where the first window by the door,
Yeah.
it says Century 21 Goodyear. Yes, right there, and it has that little set, the C21. That's what's right there right
Oh,
now,
okay.
Yeah.
and that's the only thing there. And then you had the blade sign, the aluminum blade sign that's right there above the door, just out of the picture.
So you're going to remove the
Yeah, this
The
one is-
C,
that one is-
Yeah, that's the one that he was seeing if he could put the illuminated, blade sign right there.
It's illuminated?
Yes, that one is illuminated.
Oh, it can't be illuminated.
It can't be illuminated?
Just the
Okay,
blade sign's fine, it just can't be illuminated.
okay, that's not a problem. I can go back and.
I
tell
didn't
him that.
realize it was illuminated.
And the back, the one that's in the alley, that one's not illuminated,
Good,
so.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
Okay.
Yeah, and like I said, if they want to replace that blade sign where the existing one is, I don't have a problem. They just can't have the two of them.
Okay.
Were the panels above the windows, were those always,
Yes, they've been filled in for years.
Yeah.
Yeah, they currently are wood or some type
Painted
of,
wood.
that type of thing, yeah,
Yeah.
aluminum or something. Yeah, it'd be nice at some point if that could become windows again, but,
same signage, the third applies to all that as well?
yeah, because that's why I was saying technically those are windows
Yeah.
in that, so that's why the third would apply,
Yeah.
yeah.
any other questions? Okay.
Okay.
Do I hear a motion?
I'll make a motion.
Okay.
I'll second.
Second. And that would be obviously with what we talked about for
With
just
the
the
spec-
one.
Yep,
Yeah,
just one
the
sign.
one,
One
yeah,
sign.
okay. No illumination, that whole thing.
Right.
No
Got it.
illumination.
Perfect. Jason Wells,
Yes.
Nathan Turner,
Yes.
Anita Charlatan,
Yes.
and Valerie Duncan.
Yes.
Perfect.
So on to item 6, HPC application number 24-006, discussion and potential action on a request for a certificate of compliance for Angry Bunny Donuts window and facade signage.
Thank you, Madam Chair. Again, there's a picture that's existing. They have two large, like, window areas on the front of the building, and then an entrance, and then on the side, the south side, they have the window, and then a window that curves around in a door. And so they're looking at replacing the existing building facade signs with the proposed one that shows, what does it say? I have to look at my renderings here. That has the Angry Bunny, not that one, the facade one, that one. It'll have where there currently just says donuts in that. And then as you'll see on the other renderings, it'll have on the top part, it has the donuts and wording in that, and then Angry Bunny on there. The only thing that is, I guess, concerning or that is how they currently have that allotted, because technically those are windows up there, which should only have 1/3, and they're fully covered. So if there was a way they could break that up into making it smaller within these, or moving it down here further in that, some way like that, it could make it work. Because I think on the other side, where's the yeah, I think that's the one. It was confusing with the information I got. The applicant's here, but over, if we go to the other side, still the south side of the anyway, those windows are, like here, they're all large windows. So having it across the top here really isn't an issue because it isn't gonna cover more. It's just, again, with these over here. And I know it kind of seems, it's like with one with the other in that.
Well, the applicant's here. Do we
Yeah.
have any questions?
Was the covering up top, was that more for like shade, for like west, when
If
the
you can
sun's?
answer the question, sir.
Was that more, so the signage that you would have at the very top, was that more for like a shade thing, like in the evening sun?
Yeah, just
that
a little bit shade, but the bottom is nothing, just
Yeah.
as it is. The top only.
I just wonder if there's like a practical like reason you were wanting to have all that solid stickers up top. I mean, that's the way our building is, like it's actually covered. So like people put awnings to kind of block that sun on the west when it's setting, but, so I didn't, that was my,
And, I mean, I'll say it's not overkill
Yeah.
in that. I mean, I don't know, given the it's kind of up to you guys, I guess, I mean, they're not covering the entire windows, obviously, in that, and that's what makes it somewhat difficult with the small windows up top like that, is trying to separate that from the main, but I guess we could look at it as all one.
I was gonna say, how fair is it for us to interpret that as one window, the 3 panels and the 3 smaller panels on top? Because we have to enforce these rules.
No, right, and that's what and that's what I was saying, that becomes the difficult part, is the consistency of it. Whether, if you want to consider those all one, that's fine, but like you said, then it's going to apply to others, just like with the Century 21, then, they could pretty much cover almost like a facade sign and then have it almost 100%.
Is it splitting hairs to think of it, because the way that it looks right now, obviously the donut is into the second window. So is that,
Well, the bottom part then, if we're being very literal in this interpretation, that's not more than a third of the window. So that
That's
doesn't
what I was
matter.
saying, even if you took all of this and moved it down to here, you're fine, because you're still probably at a third, you're definitely not at a half. But because of the way the windows are set up, it makes it, like I said, tricky.
Yeah, and the way the graphic is set up
Yeah,
would,
and
that would
that's
have to
the
be
only
changed.
concern, I guess, that I have is when we get to some of the windows that are above like that, this one not so much, but even like the Century 21 and some of the other ones we have, they're fairly sizable windows, so if we say, yeah, those upper ones could be filled in completely, that could lead to where we may not have a desirable outcome in some of the other buildings.
So what would be the solution? To make everything smaller?
Yeah, that's one solution,
graphics
is
smaller?
to either make them no more than a third on those windows and kind of have it more of a strip, or lower it to the bottom part to where it's on the 3 larger windows and just have it. Aaron, can you put that back? And it may not look as good, but to where they could, literally move it down and put it across this way. Because again, with that large window, you're definitely within 1/3. So either shrink it to fit into here or put it down here.
So that's up to him, right?
Are you,
Yeah.
are
do you,
you
what are your
interested?
thoughts?
Yeah, give us your thoughts.
Okay. So we reduce picture a little bit and then.
Yeah, if you literally took this and put it down here underneath those couple.
To reduce a little bit and keep it top of it.
Oh, actually, if you wanted, you could almost put it to kind of right here to where you only have a third of it on these top windows. You can do that. So there, you have a third of it, and so it kind of sits like that. So there's no more than a third of it on those windows.
You might have to move the Angry Bunny logo a little bit
Yeah,
further
like
down.
you said, maybe move it down some.
But if you're willing to do that,
Yeah.
I think
And-
that is an acceptable solution.
And what I can do is, if that works for you, I can go out there and we can stand in front of your business and I can literally say right around the area we would need, so you would know with certainty. Because basically you would just need to lower that top portion down some. And so you could have it essentially at the bottom third of those top windows and then the upper part of those bottom windows. Does that make sense? Yeah.
Dan, what about, if you take the big part on top, move it to the middle of the ones on the bottom, and then take the logo and put it at the top window?
Oh, you could do that. Yeah.
I'm just throwing ideas out. I'm not
Yeah,
finishing with it.
yeah, because even like you said, even like the
Or
fresh
that-
donuts or the gourmet coffee or the open, those could stay up there without much issue because you're not using more than a third of the window.
I guess you couldn't do it on
Yeah,
the one on the right, though,
yeah.
because oh, there's a wasp in here.
Yeah, somehow they got in. We've had them in our office. Oh, boy. What I can do is, I guess, to make things probably easier, if the commission is fine with, basically the signage and what it looks like and all, that aspect of it, we can go ahead and approve it, and I'll work with the applicant to make sure that we don't have it more than, a third of a window, or even, kind of maybe taking a strip of this and putting it there and kind of work with him to get it within the guidelines, I guess. Because if you're generally okay with generally what's there, then that's the biggest thing.
My concern is just enforcing the code
Yeah.
consistently.
Right. No, I agree.
throughout town.
Yeah.
Any other discussion, thoughts, motions?
I make a motion that we approve, and keep it inside the code and.
Yeah,
let the
basically
applicant work
keep
with
them
Dan.
all within no more than a
Yep.
third of the
Right.
window. Okay.
One more question. I mean,
Yes.
could he do a transparent background on that? Does that make a difference as far as the overall
If it's
coverage?
visible from the outside, we would still consider it signage in that. And so, I mean, if you wanted to put like up top and put, like tinted window on it without any signage to keep the glare, he could do that. But the transparent, if you can see it from the outside, is still gonna be signage. Cause that was what some of the problem with, the diner. They had those on the entire window because they wanted to keep the sun out. And because you could visibly see all that, it was the same as signage, 100%. So that's when they did it to the top and the bottom and then had the tinted there so it isn't as bright in there.
Okay.
Okay, we've had a
good.
motion.
Yes, we had a motion,
I'll second.
a second, all right. Jason Wells,
Yes.
Nathan Turner,
Yes.
Anita Charlatan,
Yes.
and Valerie Duncan.
Yes.
All right, 4-0, with that condition of 1/3 of any window.
Okay. Do we have any staff comments?
No, none tonight, thank you.
Are there any commissioner comments? Do I hear a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Perfect.